Greetings, champions. We are here live once again, live with Shatufa. We are looking at how Mnangagwa has exposed himself in the passport fee scandal. We are seeing developments that continue to happen, right, coming from the Ministry of Finance, as we have always been saying that Mnangagwa deliberately had to place Mnangagwa, his son, in the Ministry of Finance for certain deals that he wanted to perform. There are issues that are pertaining to his family that he did not want to include Mngagwa, or things that he thought that Mngagwa could resist and refuse to get into. So he decided to put Mnangagwa there. And when you look at the entrance of Mnangagwa, it is so surprising that in most cases, when you check at Parliament, you never find Mngagwa in Parliament anymore. It is always Mnangagwa who is there, and always being the one who has to be doing the talking. And recently he was talking about the issue of the new agents, an issue that we were talking about in the last show. The new agents that are going to be authorized to be the money exchangers in Zimbabwe. These are the people that will be exchanging the ZIG to the US dollar, the US dollar to the ZIG. So this is the plan that Mnangagwa always had, that he wanted to get rid of all money changers in Zimbabwe, close that door, and then he authorizes his own people, those that are around him, or come up with the Beirut changes that belong to his family throughout the whole country. And the business of exchanging money will be again centered on Mnangagwa, Vene, and his own children. So this is what is happening. So we have had the pressure that was going around of how the citizens were demanding that if you are forcing the ZIG so much on people, why then not make it able to pay for the passport fees? And recently, like yesterday, we were talking about the South African embassies that have been allowed that they will start to be issuing passports. And people have started to be talking about the extension of passports getting to outside the country. Can still people pay also using the ZIG around Zimbabwe, but that door is closed. But when you look at the reason why they are failing or refusing to allow the ZIG to pay for the passports is what leaves a lot to be desired. This on its own is just an indication that Mnangagwa has plans to just make himself rich. I tell you, the passport business in Zimbabwe has become a major business. What kind of a government is bent on selling a citizen document with such an amount to make profits? Imagine. Do you know that passports are really an issue when it comes to Zimbabwe? In other countries, when you go to Botswana, you will find that 3/4 of Botswana, they don't have passports. I used to live in Botswana, and I used to ask them so many times. You'd find that many of them, they don't have passports because passports are not an issue. Nobody's thinking of leaving Botswana. Nobody's thinking of traveling anywhere because their nation is good, things are okay, everything is okay. Nobody's even thinking of going away. But in Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa has realized that almost 3/4 of Zimbabweans want to leave, and they've turned the passport issue into a business. A passport is supposed to be just like an ID. It is just nothing. It is not something that anybody is supposed to be, compulsorily having. No. But in Zimbabwe, a passport is a big deal. And because of that realization, and also the realization that many Zimbabweans are out there in the diaspora, they would need to bring in their families, bring in their children. They would also need to renew their passports. ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa have taken it as a money-making business, as a cash cow. And now, as a cash cow, it became Mnangagwa's own business that is just bringing cash and money and profits to him. Now, he makes his own fake money that is forcing upon Zimbabweans. And Zimbabweans are saying, why can't we then use that money that you are arresting people for, that you are backing up with the police and beating of people in the arrests? Why then not allow it to also pay for the passports? But they don't want to do that. And the reasons that they give, when you see the Herald here as a mouthpiece, as a propaganda mouthpiece of ZANU-PF as usual, they are saying US dollar passports fees clarified. What is that clarification? And when you look at the reasons that are being given here, very flimsy reasons, very stupid reasons that they are giving, which don't make sense at all. And here it is saying, government says it is a contractual obligation to pay partners in US dollar. So is that a reason? That's a very flimsy reason. That's an awkward way of understanding. So if they are supposed to be paying in US dollar, what is wrong? The ZIG must just be exchanging itself to the US dollar, the US dollar exchanging itself to the ZIG at whatever exchange rate that will be according to the economy or according to their dictatorship prices, because it's them that at times dictate these prices without allowing the economy itself to dictate the value of the ZIG. That is their problem. So if it's really legal tender, it's money that works, why not allow it? Because even when Zimbabweans pay in ZIG, Emmerson Mnangagwa still can take that money to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe will be having US dollars. They take the US dollar at that exchange rate, whatever is a bank rate. Then they can be allowed to pay. So what is the problem? So it's them who are creating money that they destroy on their own, money that will not be allowed to cross the border. The ZIG can cross the border if Emmerson Mnangagwa and his government would want to make it real money. That ZIG, they can make it real money, and it can be able to be working in other countries at a rate that is fair, you see. But unfortunately, because they know that they are just creating a paper on an economy that is totally collapsed. So the issue of paying that partner in US dollar does not make sense at all. And they can still revoke the contract. What is wrong with that? A contract can be revoked. They will tell them that if you can't receive the ZIG, which is our local currency, then we change the dealer. Why do they want to talk about the paper that makes passport, as if that paper is so precious? What is so special about that paper? There's nothing that is very special about that paper. And here they are saying if ZIG is okay, somebody saying if ZIG is gold backed with enough reserves, why can't government subsidize? Yes, government has cancelled many contracts through statutory instruments. Why can't it do the same on this issue? Exactly. If that partner or that man, whoever, the company that they are in contract with, if they don't want to understand and receive the ZIG, they can just give them a boot, and tomorrow they can find another company. Government has got a right to pull out. And if you look closely into it, you'll find that the very same partner that they are talking about, that company which is responsible for those papers for the partner, for the passports, you would find that it's actually ZANU-PF people are here. It's actually probably even in Mnangagwa's company that is doing it. So all over, they are all over. They are just taking over every area, every entity. They are taking over and making sure that it profits them and does not profit anyone else. So this is a very sickening thing that we are seeing ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa doing in our country. So we will continue to look into these issues. This is just a big lie. There's no whatsoever reason that they can give that can be justifiable as to why they are refusing to take the ZIG. They must accept that that ZIG is not money. Simple. And not force Zimbabweans. And not force Zimbabweans to use that ZIG. Definitely, if ZIG was money, they were supposed to allow ZIG to pay for the passport. But because it's not, and its passport is their business, they don't want their business to be crumbling. Let us continue to demand for freedom for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe must be freed from ZANU-PF. We need freedom, and the season of freedom is now. Our country, our economy, the systems of governance must begin to work, but they can only work when we have a new government. But this is not a government that can take Zimbabwe to where it is supposed to be. Family, thank you so much for joining me on the show. This is just an update that I wanted to give with you. We are going to continue giving you more and more updates. More are coming on the main channel until evening, where we shall be talking on a live show, discussing on the main issues of the day. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and remain blessed. I am signing out as of now. Till we meet in the next show. Bless you.